Hello Luxe lovers and welcome to another video. I'm very excited for today's video because we have a lot to go through and I'm still going through my coffee. I have to say I have missed you guys. I didn't expect to enjoy YouTube as much as I have. Making videos has been actually so fun out of all the social media that I'm doing at the moment, both for myself and for clients. It's really given me a lot of joy because I feel like the people that sit and watch my videos almost like interact with me. So it's almost like I bring you along with me and there's that kind of back and forth. And I really like that. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some recent purchases. And then I'm gonna talk you through some of the things that I've bought recently. Some things I cannot show you because I bought them as gifts. Gift giving is my love language. And yeah, so we have a lot to get through. I'm gonna insert a little clip of very sporadic moments that I managed to film when I was in Milan a few days ago. And specifically because it was very festive. It was so beautifully decorated. Some of the boutiques we went to had amazing decor inside and out. So I wanted to capture that and sort of collage it together so you guys can see as if you kind of were there with me. Throughout December, it's obviously going to be busy. I love Sagittarius season. I always feel so inspired. And maybe it's because my birthday is coming up. It's next week. And yeah, so these are some recent purchases, I guess, that I bought for myself that were on my wish list and some things that I like that I didn't expect to be buying. It is rare, as you know, that I buy things kind of without having thought about them before, if that makes sense. I usually have a few things on my wish list that I know I want to get. And so that makes it very difficult when it comes to this time of year and people ask me what I want for the holidays. I genuinely do not have anything on top of my head that I can think of that I really want. And that's because I'm so meticulous and so organized with the things that I want. I don't have any kind of, I guess, excessive purchases. Of course, there are things that I lust after and things that I aspire to buy. But in my head, these are things that I want to buy for myself in the future. But when it comes to friends and family, there isn't really anything in mind for me right now that I would say, you know, I really want this. Anything that I want, I try to work towards getting. So that's kind of my motivation. But I know the holidays are a great time to kind of splurge, I guess, on things that you've had on your list, especially Black Friday's just been, and some of the deals from Black Friday are still going on. Here are some of the websites, by the way, where I've seen still some great sales going on. So might be worth checking out. I didn't really shop much during Black Friday because, again, the things that I like and the things that I want to get, I have to typically get full price, and that is because I always freak out that A, they're not going to be in a sale, and B, they're not going to have my sizes. So I think if you really want something, a lot more pleasure for me comes from buying that when I know I've worked towards getting it, rather than waiting around for just about anything. And I think especially for Black Friday and all the sales that are constantly going on, it can be so tempting to kind of mindlessly shop and consume those sales. So actually, when it comes to sales and navigating the sales, I'm going to quickly insert a couple of my tips that I think will be useful for you, whether you are thinking or preparing for the winter sale, which I think tends to happen around Boxing Day, but nowadays maybe even earlier, because some websites will run discounts from Black Friday pretty much all the way to Boxing Day, depending on the merchandise and sort of what the items are that you're after. But specifically when it comes to fashion, I'm going to share a few tips with you. My number one tip is to, outside of the sale period, go and make a wish list. You've already saved items that you like probably throughout the year. At least that's what I do. And so one thing that I do, and this is an app that I discovered maybe a couple of years back, which I find extremely useful. It's called Karma. And Karma lets you organize. This is not sponsored by Karma, by the way. This is an app that I genuinely use, although I wouldn't mind if they wanted to sponsor me. But Karma lets you organize the items that you want in different collections. And it also lets you have alerts when that item goes on sale. So that's super useful. Also, any price fluctuation, it will alert you about. Any back in stock alerts that you want to have about the item. There's an element of adrenaline around sales. Organizing the items and your wish list in categories, collections, makes you in a way avoid that kind of adrenaline rush that comes from seeing the word sale or discount or 70% off or something like that, because then I think you're more prone to reckless shopping, which is what I talked about. So that's my number one tip. Organize your wish list and then check discounts on the items from your wish list first. And then, of course, if something from your wish list is no longer available, you can always go back to the sale and see what else might be available from that designer, what else might be available in that same sort of price range or category, and see if that maybe went on sale, maybe it went on sale in a different color, and so on and so forth. And that brings me to my tip number 2, which is to buy things in the sale that you cannot afford full price. A great example of this would be Kate, for example, a brand that I really, really love. Their price point is very much on the upper segment. So if it's something that you can't afford at a regular price, the sale is your occasion to maybe buy into that brand. And especially as the sale starts to stagger throughout the sale period, you can find some great deals. And I'm specifically now thinking about Net-a-Porter and Matches, who have their outlet section, which is pretty much, I don't know if I would be correct to say that, but it's pretty much an all year round thing or section of the website. So you can go and check that. They still have items that, yes, maybe a little bit seasonal, but things get added to that section nonstop. So try to have those brands in mind that are maybe outside of your regular price range and buy those with heavy discounts. My third tip is to apply multiple promo codes. So try to make use of all the promo codes. What I mean by that is sometimes promo codes can be used together with sale and other discounts. And I'll give you 2 examples. The first goes back to that app that I mentioned, Karma, that I use. It is also a widget, an extension on my browser. So whenever I get to the checkout, I also use a different app called Honey. When I get to the checkout, it will prompt me and say, we have 10 codes for this checkout, would you like us to try them out? And some of them sometimes work, sometimes they don't. In any case, you can accumulate sort of like cashback rewards, and certain websites will award you this like gold, virtual gold that you can then exchange for discounts on other websites. But what I'm trying to say is try to be smart when you shop and not just look at, you know, the fact that it's a sale. There might be something more that you can do to get money off. And another great example, as if you have an American Express card, try to check your offers on Amex. And this is something that I swear by. I've done some of my biggest hauls on, again, websites like My Theresa, Mr. Porter, Net-a-Porter, etc., that using those offers. And so sometimes the offer will be something like, you know, spend $600 and get 15% off up to a certain value. This is a great tip. So all you need to do is basically go in your Amex app, go to offers, and just scroll through. And I think these will be tailored to the region where your card is registered. For me, that's in the UK, but some offers can be applied throughout Europe or internationally. That will be in your T's and C's. Okay, tip number 4 and 5 is, you know, we always say that in a sale, you're typically gonna get trendy items, mostly trend-led items that have a shorter life cycle, if that makes sense. So that will be your really loud prints, your really kind of out there colors that may have been really in for a season, and then they go into the sale. However, it's a twofold statement, I guess it's a twofold piece of advice, because in the sale, you will also sometimes find very timeless classic pieces. And while of course, I am somebody who's going to look at that in the sale at the, timeless things that I can wear over and over again. And if we go back to number 2, where I advise to look at things that would typically be outside your price range, if still you're buying a very expensive item in the sale, you want it to last you, right? You want to be wearing that. So I would say on one side, look for those classic timeless pieces that will really add value to your wardrobe. So you're looking at good materials, you're looking at really good construction of the garment and so on. But of course, if your style is, and in your mind, I love wearing colorful cowboy boots, or I love wearing Mary Janes, which are very in this season and they happen to now be going in the sale. A very good example of this is the Valentino and Versace platform that was really everywhere last year, if I remember correctly, or the year before. But one of those seasons, and it was just everywhere, all over Instagram. Everybody was wearing that shoe, the doll like Bratz shoe. And I've seen them so much in the sale this year, and they continue to be. So if that is your style, if that is something that, you love, that you genuinely relate to and want to wear over and over and over again, the sale is your chance to get it at a really good price point and get, by all means, pounce on it and get the best value for your money, and something that's going to correspond you and fit you at a better price than you would normally. I think that's pretty much all the kind of quick tips and tricks that I could think about that I wanted to squeeze into this video, that I didn't expect to want to squeeze into this video, but it kind of came naturally. But when it comes to sales, yeah, those are kind of the rules, quote unquote, that I go by. I will say one thing: nothing feels better than an amazing quality cashmere sweater or a great pair of leather boots bought at 70 or 80% off. Trust me. And you will remember that item and you will get your value, and it will just bring you so much joy. At least it does for me. And of course, with so many brands scaling production, especially luxury brand scaling production, the sale kind of becomes like a constant thing. And kind of in parallel to how fast fashion works, I think to some degree, we're also seeing designer brands kind of squeezing that life cycle to a bare minimum, where it kind of requires that constant discounting. And I know I've noticed a lot this year, and I've talked about, sales that I've gone to, like Arletti and things that, like sample sales and things like that. But when it comes to sales, this year has been a record year of how many sales I've seen. Designer sales from Max Mara all the way to Erdem, to multi-brand sales, you name it, in sort of the fashion capitals that I've been in, but specifically in London, because I get most alerts about London. And I think it is due to that. I think it's because as a designer brand, and if you're owned by a bigger conglomerate, it's kind of allowing for that scale, yes, but also to some degree overproduction. And of course, when it comes to local artisanal boutiques and sort of smaller brands, independently owned brands, they cannot afford to do that kind of discounting, especially throughout the year. You sort of follow that natural fashion and trend cycle and product cycle. And this is, from the perspective of somebody who's worked in this industry in merchandising and buying, and the buying cycle has really dramatically changed. And I think it's because a lot of luxury brands are also starting to behave like fast fashion brands. So it's an interesting time. Anyway, so this was just, without really going into analysis of that, these were just some quick pieces of advice that hopefully will help you as we approach Boxing Day and when it comes to shopping. But even now, if you want to shop for gifts, I would say do it now. I'm usually super organized with buying gifts. Not this year. And I've gotten so many people ask me what I want. I don't really want anything. I just want to be at home and relax. And I've got a wonderful holiday planned just after my birthday that takes me almost all the way up to Christmas Eve. So that's kind of been on my mind, honestly. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. And I'm finding so much joy in just experiences, you know? Like this weekend when I was in Milan, there were so many boutiques we went to and saw beautiful things, and you'll see in the video just absolutely gorgeous, inspiring settings. And you know, it's the season, it's the holidays, and everyone's shopping and so on. And yet the highlight for me was just going to a really amazing restaurant and eating amazing food and just enjoying time like out and about, taking in the city, taking in that experience. I don't know, maybe it was just a phase, but anyway, so I don't want to go too deep into that. I am going to show you some of the things that I recently got between my trip to London and now. And of course, this is sort of a pre-birthday unboxing. One thing you should know about me, I don't know if this is weird, is when I buy things, I was having this conversation with my friend the other day. When I buy something, I love to leave it wrapped. I don't know where it comes from. I've always been this way. When I was a child and I used to get given presents on Christmas, I would unwrap them and see them, but then I would like put them back in the original packaging and just leave them like that in my room for days. Is that weird or not? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, please, if you do this, or are you somebody who unboxes, unwraps, and then you just want to use the item straight away? That's definitely not me. So it makes for fun unboxings because some of the items that I'm going to show you I got and are still in the original packaging, have not been touched. Okay, so I'm going to show you some items. The first thing I'm going to show you is what I'm wearing today, which is just this set. Super soft, super cozy. I love sets for winter because it's just so easy to kind of throw on. And I'm just wearing Uggs, the Taz Uggs that I got last year because they're perfect for just lounging at home. And I don't really wear them out anymore. I wear my mini Uggs this year because I got these. These are the waterproof. They're kind of like leather, if you can see. They're like covered. So they're waterproof versus being suede like the normal Uggs are. So these I just wear at home. And then when I go, I think I'm gonna pair it with this bag, which is something's jingling inside. But just this, and then like maybe a coat on top. I have this Max Mara coat that's very similar color to this. So we're doing like a tonal look today. We're doing the Ice Queen, what my husband calls the Snow Queen outfit. So I'm going to show you some of the items that I got. Okay, so we're starting with shoes, and this is not even the start of it, okay? The first pair, if you watched my London vlog, you would have seen that I already wore, okay? So that might not be such a surprise. And you will probably tell me, why did you need another pair of these shoes? Well, I'm here to tell you, these are the best shoes, okay? I think, like I said in one of my previous videos, maturing is realizing that Manolo Blahnik is just superior footwear. For me personally, I have wide feet, I have problem feet, I used to do ballet, I have bunions, I have the lot, okay? These shoes tick all of my boxes, and specifically as I get to a certain age, so you can see I've worn these, so there's nothing exciting, okay? As I get to a certain age, this is the kind of shoe I want to go out in, you know? This is super easy to wear. It's so chic and classic. So these are the Maysail pumps. I believe this is maybe the 8-centimeter heel in a kind of gray, like an anthracite gray. So despite the fact that the box says they are black, I believe these came from the Ave Maria sale in London. I believe she sources a lot of her shoes from the States, and I have a memory that there was a limited edition color to certain US department stores like Bergdorf's, if I'm not mistaken, and they sort of had these colors that didn't make it to Europe at all. Very similar to what happened with these, which I also get a lot of questions about, which are the slightly higher heel Maysail in the pink. And although you may have seen many pink Manolo Maysails like this, This pink was very exclusive, I believe, to the Burlington Arcade boutique, the Manolo boutique in London. So these are also very special. They're kind of more summery. So I do think this, the new ones make for a great addition. They're kind of more, you know, could be worn in winter. Like I just wore them in Milan for a night out and they were super comfortable, did not hurt my feet. I did not complain. I also have these. They're like in this beautiful fall color, and that is the same heel height as you can see. This is a very good heel height for me. I've worn these a lot more. And I also bought these, I think I bought these off a pre-loved website, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I think this is a great addition to my collection. They're kind of more of a neutral, they go great with black. Whereas these are kind of, I bought because of the her bag. Is my her bag that I've shown you in previous videos. And I thought this would make for a really cool, like September, October kind of leaves are falling outfit. I also got these boots that I've worn as well. I just wore them now in Milan from Another Stories. I do believe they're still available. If you're in the market for a perfect boot, well-constructed boot, perfect heel height, black boot, like they sit really nicely around my calves, and I have like I would say larger than average calves, and they still make my foot look really elongated, and especially if I'm wearing like a short dress or short skirt or even shorts with tights, looks so good, amazing. These are a great purchase if you can still get them. I got a 40 and I would say they run a little bit small, but I love how they're constructed. I mean, look at that. Really, really good quality from Another Stories. I think with the boots, you know, I was debating for so long on either the jumping boots, but I don't think they're called the jumping boots, is the kind of ones that have the thicker rubber sole at the bottom. I think they're a lot more practical than the jumping boots from Hermes. I was thinking about them for a really long time. My SA never really could get my size, and I think there's some men's ones, the short version, that sometimes have extra sizes, which then my size goes into men's. There was another pair of boots that I had my eyes on, which was a Chanel boot that I only saw online and I didn't see in any other boutiques. I did see them in Vienna, so I might try to get them when I go to Vienna in December, but I didn't see them in London, and they're just the most like slick, slightly higher heel, block heel, really nice, almost no logo. Like the logo I believe is like stitched in, so it's kind of the same color, so you can't really see that. So they're very, very subtle, very nice, classic black boots. But I came to the conclusion that I don't really wear that many tall boots, and if I do in the winter, that requires me having an outfit that allows for those boots to be worn. And that's not really my everyday style at the moment. So it came to a point where I was just like, I just want some everyday boots that I can wear, that I don't have to worry about if they crease, because trust me, nothing hurts as much as the first crease in your jumping boots. Because that pristine leather is just so beautiful. And when you see them, you just think, wow, this is just a gorgeous piece of footwear. And then inevitably they get worn. So that magic kind of wears off and you spend $2,000 and it just doesn't hit the same. So that was my reasoning. Hopefully I'll let you know how these Other Story boots hold up and how they wear over time. But the next pair is also a very practical piece of footwear before I show you the last piece. And it's another pair of my, you can see I've worn these as well, but it's another pair of my favorite sneaker brand, Axel Arigato. I think these are the coolest sneakers out there. I have about 5 pairs of them, all slightly different. I wear these on a daily basis with everything and they're amazing. They're so comfortable. And these I got from Farfetch because I had some credits to use. And so far they're the least comfortable because they're not suede throughout like my other ones. They're actually leather. So I think they just still need to soften a little bit. But yeah, so the Axel Arigato, which I've worn as well already. And then the final, also from the Ave Maria sale, sorry, there we go, is what is perhaps the most perfect boot I've ever come across. So here we go. I'm going to show you them. These are brand new. They have not been worn or been out of the box. It's these. I do not remember the name of them now to save my life. But let me show them to you. They're just the perfect, slightly chunkier heel, black ankle boot. Here we go with the signature red sole. Let me show you them side by side. I love the front of them. They kind of remind me of the Other Story ones. Super classic. They're absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that leather, and they're so comfortable, so wearable. So any events like around winter where you need to wear boots, but like I said, you don't want to wear an outfit that calls for a knee-high boot or an over-the-knee boot, I think these are perfect. They just instantly polish the outfit, make it look put together. So I'll let you know how I'll be styling these, and hopefully you'll see some outfits with them. But I love them. They're so pretty. I just want them to live in the box because they're so perfect. Okay, next, and I know this one will be interesting for you because this has been the talk of the town, the Phoebe Philo return, the collection that had everybody talking, good, bad, everything in between. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think the collection, in short, was perhaps came at a sort of time when this particular market is a little bit saturated, and I'm thinking everything from Cause all the way to Phoebe's actual disciples who have now started their own brands. And so I think, you know, she is obviously capitalizing on this quiet luxury, you know, minimalist luxury aesthetic that is indeed what people are buying, but it comes at a time when, you know, it's kind of like, been there, done that. What are these price points? And this was a really strange purchase. We basically tried to check out something like 3 times, and then the item was sold out. And then I got an email saying the item was not dispatched because it had sold out. And then 2 of them arrived at my door, and I just couldn't make sense of it. And you can probably already guess what it is, but it's a pair of sunglasses. And I had a reasoning behind these sunglasses. Here's all the stuff that it comes in with the pouch and everything. I was looking for a pair, and many of you will know about the Celine Edge sunglasses, which had a little bit of a moment in 2021/2022. And then I swear at some point I saw them retailing upwards of $1,000, $2,000 on Vestiaire. And so I think what's really, really clever is that Phoebe basically recreated these sunglasses under her own label name. So I'm going to show them to you. I think they're the perfect sunglasses. I really liked the Edge sunglasses, but basically these are also very much like my style. So they don't have any branding. Let me see if you can see. They don't have any branding anywhere except on the inside. Because I wear a lot of cat eye sunglasses, I think these are super cool. I love how sharp they are. Very, very happy with these. I will be wearing them a lot. But yeah, so that was the story about Phoebe Philo. I know they've just had another drop. So again, they're going back in the box. They've just had another drop, like a second release, and I think there's going to be a couple more. So I know last I checked on the website, these were still listed and it said more to come. So you might be able to have some alerts or something to remind you when they come back in stock if you're interested in getting these. I think they were a really good price point for designer sunglasses. But on to more interesting things, because we have some Loro Piana. This bag looks so beat up. As I unboxed stuff and then I put it back in the bag for the purpose of this video, because I wanted to remember what I wanted to show you. So I actually got 3 things. This cashmere hoodie. And as you know, I love sets. So I also got the trousers. So cashmere matching pants. I think they'll be great for travel. And then I couldn't resist. I also got the infamous, I really wanted the belted version, but they didn't have it. So I ended up getting this, which has a removable hood. So as you know, in the summer, I bought my first ever Loro Piana bag, which was the wicker basket. I'll insert a picture right here. And that, I think, was the item that really made me fall in love with Loro Piana. I kid you not. Because at first, it's not really a brand in terms of when it comes to bags specifically, it's not really a brand that like, set off alarm bells in my head. But the more I looked at the bags and the more I look at the bag market in general and what's currently available and at what price point it's available out there, I do think Loro Piana have a very interesting proposition. So I was in the market for a mini bag that I can wear crossbody, that I can wear on a day-to-day basis. And that's not that a mini Kelly, because I think that bag still, to me, although it's not an evening bag, it's not quite a day bag. It's not really something that I feel comfortable going out in every day. It's very recognizable. In my opinion, it's very out there. And I just want something a little bit more subdued, a little bit more subtle. So I had to jump through some hoops to finally get this delivery. As you can see, I've opened it because this arrived yesterday. Ribbon is off. Such pretty ribbon. I really love their packaging. It's like feels very substantial. So can you guess what it is? If you can guess what it is, let me know in the comments before I open the box. So here we go. We have, what do we have? Little booklets, a little receipt. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you. She's perfect. Minnie, she's an extra pocket in black with the silver charm, silver hardware. It is perfect. And just for comparison, this is the size of the mini Kelly. However, this is a very structured bag and I don't think it fits as much, whereas this is very supple. And of course, we're not gonna stuff this, but I think all in all, it is way more practical and fits a lot more.
Step to step by walking away. I don't wanna run it, cause I wanted to stay. But you tear me apart. Where are you coming from, worry? Who's she kissing your shoulders? I can't stop every time when you calling me back, and your voice is the one thing that bringing me back to life. You're bringing me back to life. You're bringing me back to life.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was slightly different. I hope you enjoyed me showing you some of the recent purchases I got, my reasoning behind them, and I hope you liked coming to Milan with me. Let me know what was your favorite part, what you'd like to see going forward in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on my other channels for more updates and slightly more different type content. I try to post different things on all my channels, so you're never bored and you're never really seeing the same thing twice. So that's pretty much it for me for today. I will be celebrating my birthday next week and I will be seeing you a lot more in December, hopefully sharing my December journey with you. And my Christmas tree, my decorations, my mom's decorations. I have a lot to share. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.